आशाओं की किरण जगाने वाले हम, जन जन से संपर्क बढ़ाने वाले हम, आशाओं की किरण जगाने वाले हम, जन जन से संपर्क बढ़ाने वाले हम, आशाओं की किरण जगाने वाले हम, जन जन से संपर्क बढ़ाने वाले हम, आशाओं की किरण जगाने वाले हम। नगर नगर ये ग्राम और ये गलियारे, भरने इनमें नवजीवन के उजियारे। नगर नगर ये ग्राम और ये गलियारे, भरने इनमें नवजीवन के उजियारे। बार बार हम दोहराते हैं यही कसम, यही कसम, यही कसम। आशाओं की किरण जगाने वाले हम, जन जन से संपर्क बढ़ाने वाले हम, आशाओं की किरण जगाने वाले हम, जन जन से संपर्क बढ़ाने वाले हम, आशाओं की किरण जगाने वाले हम। हमें हटाना घर घर से अंधियारा है, हमें तोड़नी पाखंडों की कारा है। हमें हटाना घर घर से अंधियारा है, हमें तोड़नी पाखंडों की कारा है। सच को कहने वाली चलती रहे कलम, चलती रहे कलम। आशाओं की किरण जगाने वाले हम, जन जन से संपर्क बढ़ाने वाले हम, आशाओं की किरण जगाने वाले हम, जन जन से संपर्क बढ़ाने वाले हम, आशाओं की किरण जगाने वाले हम। कदम मिलाकर नर नारी सब और बढ़े, ज्ञान और विज्ञान नए सोपान चढ़े। कदम मिलाकर नर नारी सब और बढ़े, ज्ञान और विज्ञान नए सोपान चढ़े। देना है संदेश यही हमको हरदम, यही हमको हरदम। आशाओं की किरण जगाने वाले हम, जन जन से संपर्क बढ़ाने वाले हम, आशाओं की किरण जगाने वाले हम, जन जन से संपर्क बढ़ाने वाले हम, आशाओं की किरण जगाने वाले हम, जन जन से संपर्क बढ़ाने वाले हम, आशाओं की किरण जगाने वाले हम, जन जन से संपर्क बढ़ाने वाले।
A very good morning to all. Before I'm going to make a presentation on public relations in the in the digital era. I would like to introduce myself. I am Dr. Sureshchandra Naik, presently working as a professor and HOI of Amity School of Communication, Amity University, Chhattisgarh. I would like to congratulate Public Relations Society of India, especially Dr. Pathak, for taking this wonderful initiative to reach the public relations professional across the globe. And I hope this lecture will be helpful to all the students of journalism and mass communication. So once again, I congratulate the organizers, and I'm really thankful to the organizations for giving me an opportunity to speak on public relations in the digital era. So we will be starting with a small introduction to public relations, then we will move towards the digital era. In the digital era, where mobile penetration is more, now in each and every village, you go to any nook and corner of the country, you will find that people are having smartphones at their hand. There was a time when we wake up early in the morning, we used to start our day with a cup of tea or a cup of coffee with a morning newspaper. But gone those days, now we are in such a situation, now we are in such a juncture that we may not require a hard copy or a print newspaper, and that can be served with newspaper, or that can be served if you are having a smartphone at your hand. A smartphone which serves us in many ways, starting from calling to information and to entertainment. Even in this digital era, we are getting the information from various companies, various organizations on mobile phones itself. Even if various brands, they have started using the messaging apps to reach the masses. So in today's lecture, we will be discussing about public relations in the digital era. So in the beginning, we will be discussing about various definitions, and after few definitions, or less definitions, we will move towards the practical definitions, that is from PRSA and other bodies. Then we will see what is the status of the social media across the globe, what is the status of the internet users across the globe, that we will be discussing. So just give me 1 minute, I will be making a presentation. So I hope this slide is visible to you. So let me start. You see, one of the earliest definitions of the term is coined by Danny Griswold, publisher of Public Relations News, a pioneer newsletter of public relations. Griswold says that public relations is the management function which evaluates the public attitudes, identifies the policies and procedures of an organization, with the public interest and executes a program of action to earn public understanding and acceptance. Whatever we are doing, always we should keep in mind that the public interest is at the top, and we need to keep in mind that it is the people for whom we are working, and it is the people for whom our organization is there in the market. So while preparing the policies, while executing the programs of action, we should ensure that the people or the public, they understand the policies and the plans well and they accept it. That is a must. You will be surprised to know that even if big companies, they failed to get acceptance of the public, they failed to make people understand about their plans and policies, and which ultimately had a negative impact on that organization itself. Moving towards the next definition on public relations, two American public relations professionals, that is Scott M. Cutcliffe and Alan H. Center, they have authored a very popular and a famous book on effective public relations. Cutcliffe and Center says that public relations is the planned effort. It is the planned effort to what? To influence the opinion. So how you are going to influence the opinion? Opinion can only be influenced through good character and responsible performance. Based on what? Based on mutually satisfactory two-way communication. The communication should be two-way. It should not be one-way communication. You should try to understand the emotions, the sentiments of the public, the community members with whom you are dealing, with whom you are, that means, living. If you fail to do so, I'm sorry to say that you may not be able to establish a good relationship with the public or with the people itself. So Cutcliffe and Center's statement on public relations, that you need to plan in such a manner that you will be able to influence the public opinion. And that public opinion always, my dear friends, always keep in mind that public opinion can only be influenced through your responsible performance. They should feel that yes, the organization is thinking for us. Yes, the organization is doing something for us. Yes, the organization has planned so many things in favor of us. That is what the feeling we need to inculcate in the minds of the public. Now the next slide. This is again a very interesting definition by Institute of Public Relations UK, United Kingdom. It says that PR is the deliberate, planned and sustained effort to establish and maintain mutual understanding between an organization and its public. In Cutcliffe and Center's definition, the planned effort was there, but in the Institute of Public Relations UK, they included deliberate and sustained effort. Deliberate means what? You need to keep on, that means planning things for the betterment of the societal members. You need to keep on planning activities for the community members. And that to be, you have to make some sustainable efforts to what? To establish and maintain mutual understanding between an organization and its public. There should be a mutual understanding between the organization and the public. My dear friends, there are two types of public we are dealing with, basically. One is your internal public and another one is your external public. So we need to establish a relationship with both the parties. Then moving towards the next definition given by Sam Black in the book Practical Public Relation. Black says the fundamental purpose of public relation practice is to establish a two-way flow of mutual understanding based on truth, knowledge, and full information. My dear friends, see, public relations can be established through mutual understanding. And that should be based on what? That should be based on truth, knowledge, and understanding. You cannot make a relationship, fake relationship with anyone. Your relationship that completely depends upon your responsible performance. How do you perform? How do you see others? That is important. So the definition given by Sam Black, that the mutual understanding is based on truth, knowledge, and information. You cannot, that means, hide information from your public. That information should be in the public domain. You should keep on informing both your internal as well as your external public. I'm just giving an example. If your organization is planning some activity, that should be informed to the internal employees as well as to the external public. That may be your investor or that may be your other stakeholders, customers, or whosoever the person is. They should know what exactly you are planning, what type of activity you are planning, whether the activity which you are planning, whether it is related to them or not, whether it is of some use to them or not, whether those activities, through those activities, they are going to gain some information or not, they are going to gain some knowledge or not. That should be completely conveyed. So that information and that information should be properly disseminated to the public. That is what Black says. Then coming to the statement by Edward L. Bernays, Bernays says, that means Bernays is the doyen of public relations in USA, defines public relations that it is the attempt by information, persuasion, and adjustment. Three things which are very important. Public relations is the attempt by information, persuasion, and adjustment. You need to keep on informing your public, both internal as well as external. You keep on persuading and motivating your public on a regular basis, on a constant basis. Then the third one is you need to adjust. Sometimes you may to go for a compromise, but you should not hesitate for it. Rather, you should love it. Even if you go for a compromise, always keep in mind that your organization is going to have a better image among the public. When we say that a public relations professional is known as the spokesperson, or he or she is the bridge between the organization and its public, that means the reputation of an organization that completely depends upon a PR practitioner, public relations practitioner. So sometimes you should not hesitate to adjust. So that is what Edward L. Bernays says. Moving to the next slide. Just have a look what Daniel J. Boston says. Daniel J. Boston says, some are born great. Yes, that is everything. That means we usually say no. Some are born great. Some achieve greatness. by that means constant effort, by giving more that means effort in a consistent manner, some achieve greatness, and some hire public relation officers. So what Boston says, that if you want to great, if you want to become great and to achieve greatness, even if you are not born great, even if you don't achieve greatness, but through public relations, you can achieve that. You can be great and you can achieve greatness as well. This is what Boston says, and it shows that how powerful public relations is. Either write something worth reading or do something worth writing about. Benjamin Franklin, the founding father of the USA. What Benjamin Franklin says, either write something worth reading. You should write. I remember that if in your lifetime, if a person is able to write a good quality book, that means that book will serve his forthcoming generation as well. This is what the power of writing is. So what Franklin says, either write something worth reading, whatever you write, that should be worth, or do something worth writing about. Either you prove it through writing or you prove it through your deeds. You have to walk in such a manner. You have to show that how capable you are. Everybody now, even if today, why the people, they have been saying that yes, Tata company is doing great, so and so company is doing great. Why? Because they have been doing great works. They have been doing great deeds, and that is the reason everybody is having a very positive perception about those companies. Then what Alvin Adams says? Adams says, public relations are a key component of any operation in this day of instant communications and rightly inquisitive citizens. Now in the digital era, in the mobile age, communication technology has changed the way of looking at things. That means there is a revolutionary change in the communication technology. Now the young generation is more inclined towards the smartphones rather than the newspapers, the magazines, the books, or the television, or your radio, whatever may be. They're more inclined towards your smartphones itself. That to be, they're so inquisitive. They keep on exploring. They keep on exploring what is happening new. They want to have all those informations with them, which is a good thing. Being a journalism teacher also, sometimes that means many times we ask our students to be inquisitive in nature. You should have a questioning mind. You should keep on, that means you should always try to keep on exploring and exploring and exploring. Then only you will be able to know what is happening in the changing world. There are certain practical definitions. An interesting and modern definition of public relations is the Mexican statement made at an international conference. In 1978, in an international conference, it was said that public relations practice is the art of social science of analyzing trends, predicting their consequences, counseling organizational leaders, and implementing planned programs of action which will serve both the organization and the public interest. My dear friends, public relations is the art of social science of what? Of analyzing the trends, what is going on, what is happening, what is the demand in the market, what type of changes the people they want, what exactly the young generation is trying to get. We need to analyze the present trend. How people are shifting from television viewing to mobile viewing. How the youngsters, they made a shift from hard copy newspaper reading, print newspaper reading, to your online newspaper reading. What will be the future consequences? So you being a PR practitioner, you need to understand. That means you have to predict the consequences. What will be the consequences? If this will be the situation for another 1 year, 2 year, 5 year, or 10 years, then what will be the consequence? Where the generation will go? What will be the requirements? That being a practitioner, being a PR practitioner, you need to understand. Then what it says? Counseling organization leaders and implementing planned programs of action. Sometimes you need to counsel the top leaders. You need to make them understand what exactly the bottom line is expecting, what exactly the investor is expecting, what exactly the customer is expecting from the organization. That you need to convey, that you need to make them understand. Then only your organization will have a positive perception. That means the public will have a positive perception about your organization itself. So whenever you are implementing any planned programs of action, you should always keep in mind that those planned actions, that should be beneficial to the people, that should be beneficial to the community members. My dear friends, you tell me, being a PR practitioner, our honest responsibility is to serve the societal members. No doubt is to serve the organization where we are working, but at the very same time, we should be honest in our approach. We should know what exactly the people they are looking for, what exactly the expectations of the community members. So whenever we are setting up an organization, be it an organization or be it anything, we are setting up an organization for whom? We are setting up for the public, for the people. So if it is for the people, then don't you think that we should also think of the betterment of the community members, the betterment of the public itself. I hope it is clear. Then moving to the next slide. Yes. Just have a look what the PRSS is, Public Relations Society of America. Public relations is a strategic communication process that builds mutually beneficial relationship. The relationship, no doubt it is a mutual relationship, but that relationship should be a mutually beneficial relationship. That means both the parties, they should be benefited from each other. It is not, that means your intention is not only to make money. At the very same time, you need to think of the benefits of the community members or the benefits of the internal and the external public. Only making profit is not enough. At the very same time, you have to see that how both the internal as well as the external public, they are satisfied or not, that you need to ensure. Because it is your responsibility to make them happy. Public relations is about influencing, engaging and building a relationship with key stakeholders across numerous platforms in order to shape and frame the public perception of an organization. My dear friends, now, as I told, that now we are in the digital era. In the digital era, you see, a number of platforms that are available, numerous platforms that are available. We are not confined to only radio, television, or newspaper. Other than that, your podcast is there, your blogs are there, many digital media platforms that are available right now. You may reach the public through these numerous platforms, through these varied platforms. So your role, being a PR practitioner, is to influence, to engage. Three things which are very important: to influence, to engage, and to build relationship. With whom? With the stakeholders, with the internal as well as the external public. That is what your prime responsibility is. That is what you are supposed to perform. And you need to build a relationship across varied and numerous platforms in order to what? In order to shape and frame the public perception of an organization. My dear friends, let me tell you, if a group of people or if an individual is having, even if a single individual or single employee of an organization is having a negative impression, a negative perception about an organization, about a company, let me tell you, somewhere it may be, that means a threat to the company itself. We should know how to make people happy. We should know their requirements, their preferences. Then only we will be able to establish a good relationship. You cannot impose or you cannot force anything. If you force, if you impose, then the people will revolt against you and your organization, and your organization reputation will be at stake. So it is advisable, being a PR practitioner, you should always try to build a healthy relationship with the public. So that means these definitions encompasses the following: anticipating, analyzing, and interpreting public opinion. You should anticipate what is going to happen in your organization, what is there in the minds of the employee, internal public, what is there in the minds of the investors. You have to anticipate, you need to predict, you should have that skill. And at the very same time, you need to analyze. Interpreting public opinion, attitudes, and issues that might have an impact for good or ill on the operations and plans of the organization. Why? Anticipating. Why? Predicting the future is required. Predicting the consequences is required. The reason is being, you don't know at any time, a crisis may arise. And a crisis, that means it's not that the crisis will come to your home and or will give you a phone call and it will tell, that crisis will tell you that yes, and so date I will be coming. No. It may come at any point of time. So how you are going to tackle? How you are going to, that means make stable the situation? How you are going to protect the image and the reputation of your company? And that is the reason you need to anticipate the future. What is going on in the minds of the internal employees? What is going on in the minds of the external public? Be it a customer, be it an investor, with any stakeholder. And that is the reason we say that being a public relations practitioner, you need to read the psychology of a human being. If you are able to do so, then you can handle any crisis. Counseling management at all levels in the organization with regard to policy decisions, courses of action and communication, including crisis communications, taking into account the public ramification and the organization's social or citizenship responsibilities. My dear friends, as I told, there is no doubt if I ask a businessman or a person who is doing business, what is your objective of doing business? So the answer might be that the motive or the objective of business is to make profit. There is no doubt, and there is nothing wrong in it. I'm not saying there is anything wrong in it. This is absolutely right. But your motive should not only be confined to only make profit. At the very same time, you should always think for the benefit and the betterment of the community members, from where you are operating, from where you are running your business. You need to think of them. Who is going to think of them? Only you will be making profit and others will think of the community members. How come it's possible? You have to think, because you are the farm, or you are that organization who is making money, who is making profit, who is going to be benefited in many ways. So don't you think that it is your social responsibility to think of them? Yes, it is your social responsibility to think of the community members. Then the next slide is, just have a look. There are certain, that means in the public relations in the digital age, as I told that digital media has, or the new media has revolutionized the communication industry in the 21st century. There is no doubt the digital or the social media platforms provides plethora of avenues to the people. It reaches the audience with fraction of seconds. But the important thing is how to draft a message, how to design a message for this young generation. The generation which is very, 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 very inquisitive in nature. How you are going to draft? They don't have the practice of reading 1,000 lines or 1,000 words or 5,000 words. They're quite focused. They're to the point. They may not read a story if you are writing about 1,000 or 1,200 or 1,500 words or 5,000 words. So writing a content that to be for the young generation is again a challenging task. There is no doubt that the digital media or the social media has provided enormous opportunities, enormous avenues to the public. But at the very same time, it is a very difficult task on part of a PR practitioner who used to during that time, who believed to be just write a press release, establish that means media relation, and write a press release, send it to the press, get it published, that is over. That was the kind of PR scenario during that time. But now that is not the case. The industry has been changed like anything, my dear friends. There is something more to do. You cannot confine yourself into only press release writing. No. It is not going to work. And your role is not only to, that means hold one or two press conferences or press briefings or press tours. No. Your role is something different. You are now dealing with the digital audience. That to be, you are dealing with the global audience. You are not dealing with a very, that means specific audience. You are dealing with the global audience. Now you see, big companies, the MNCs, multinational companies, They are running their organizations, their companies, having their branches over here. Our Indian companies, they are having their branches overseas and they are running there. How all these things that happens? Don't you think that you have to learn? You need to learn and you need to adapt the technological changes. My dear friends, always keep in mind, change is inevitable. You don't have any control, I don't have any control. It will happen. And who will survive in the changing situation? The person who is adapting to the changing technologies or to the changing situation. Otherwise, you may not be there in the market. Again, now we are not in 50s or 60s. That there are only few companies are there where you can go for a monopoly. In the 21st century, you just have a look, different various brands that are floating in the market. That means I can say in one line that we are into the ocean of products and services. That means a number of brands, ocean of brands, rather I could say. Number of brands that are floating. And it is now a challenging task, being a PR person also, how to popularize your product. How to popularize your, that means how to have a positive perception about your organization. How do people they are going to trust your organization? Once the trust is created, then it is quite obvious they will be loyal to your organization. And that trust and confidence can only be created by a public relation practitioner. So now you understand how difficult, how challenging your role is. It is not that easy the way we are thinking. There is a saying that you can make fool people for someday, but you can, or one day, but can you make them fool for all the day? No. Now everything is public domain. Now everything is digital, in the digital world. So in this digital world or in this new media era, we have to understand what technological changes that are taking place, and accordingly we have to embrace them. Let me take you to the next slide. As I told that digital media has indeed changed the way of communication for public relation practitioners around the globe. Now information is disseminated much quicker through the internet and cell phones. I remember during the 60s when McLuhan coined the word global village. Luhan said that the entire world is going to be a global village, and communication is going to become much easier than ever before. Then during that time, people thought that this man is lying. That means Luhan is lying. No, now you see, we are now connected. I am somewhere in Chhattisgarh. You are somewhere in Indonesia or in Jakarta or in Pakistan. You don't know. We can establish our relationship within fraction of seconds. We can have a chat within fraction of seconds. I can send you a message within fraction of seconds. You can revert it to me within fraction of seconds. Everything is taking place within fraction of seconds, my dear friends. So the communication is so quick, I'm telling you. It was not before. I remember the days when, in order to, that means, communicate a message, that to be through letters, we used to depend on post. And the post usually During that time, it took 5 days, 10 days, 20 days in order to reach that letter. That was what the scenario. But now that scenario has been changed. Now, within no seconds, your message reaches the target audience. So think for a while, how things are changing very fast. Moving to the next slide. In the digital era, it is imperative that public relation would need to acclimatize to technological advancements happening around the world and utilize this advancement as tool to effectively reach its audience and achieve the communication objectives. My dear friends, now being a PR practitioner, if you are not up to date, if you are not acclimatized to technological advancements which is happening around the globe, then I'm sorry to say you are not the right person for this profession. So in order to achieve the communication objective, being a PR practitioner, you should adapt, you should acclimatize to the technological advancements. You should know how to utilize the advanced tools and techniques to reach the audience. It has become important, if you are a PR practitioner, to adapt to these new changes, the new technologies and methods. Communication have made public relations a much more versatile and effective tool. Now, through your digital media platforms, now many companies, they have started many campaigns. I will be showing you in my subsequent slides that how the audience is shifting from one to another. I will be showing you just in the next slide, perhaps. Just have a look. Maybe after this slide. PR professionals across the world today are exposed to a range of new communication channels. As I told that we are not now confined or specific with only radio, TV and newspaper. No. Other than radio, newspaper and your television, we have blogs, podcasts, online videos, social networks and many more. And all these social web-based media tools that are used for voicing the opinions of people across the country and across the globe itself. There is no doubt, my dear friends, mainstream media, even if today is playing a very important role, I am not denying it, in disseminating the information. Even then, I am telling you, even then, social media or the new media have been trying to influence the traditional media, but still mainstream media is trying to have its own place, is trying to disseminate the information as earlier itself. Now for breaking news, my dear friends, we are not waiting for the morning newspaper. Neither we are waiting for the morning newspaper, nor we are waiting for the television to watch. We are having a smartphone at our hand. We are getting that means what I say, the breaking news. Many apps are there. That may be a TOI app you have, maybe an Indian Express app, whatever app you have, so that you are getting all or the Mint app, you are getting all the breaking news on your fingertips itself. So now you are not, that means having that morning newspaper, the print newspaper. Then just have a look, the present social media scenario, which is published by Statista Research Department on September 10th, 2021. This is a very recent data which is published by Statista. That means now we are September 2018 and it is published on September 10th itself. Just have a look. How many people use social media? You will be surprised to see that in 2020, over 3.6 billion people were using social media worldwide. And see, now a number is projected that there will be an increase from 3.6 billion to 4.41 billion in 2025. Maybe after 3 to 4 years. The social media users, social media use across the globe by 2025 will be almost 4.41 billion, or maybe more than that. Because if you look at the increase, even if in the rural areas you see the penetration of the mobile phones. Now in each nook and corner of the country, people are having the cell phones. It is not confined that if you are staying in the urban area, that does not mean that you are only having the smartphone or you are having only the that means mobile phone. A person who is staying somewhere in the remote area or somewhere in the rural area also, he or she is also having the same smartphone which you are having in the city or which you are having in the urban area. So there is no surprise that the figure which is mentioned by that means by the Statista Research Department, that the social media uses will be going to increase by from 3.6 to 4.41 billion in 2025. It may increase more than that. Then the second question, my dear friends, just have a look. Who uses social media? Who uses? There is no surprise that social networking penetration or the social media penetration across all regions is constantly rising and increasing like anything. As of January 2020, the global social media usage rate stood at 49%, my dear friends. You see, as of January 2020, the global social media usage rate stood at 49%. That means out of 100 people, 49 people, they are using the social media. This is what the figure. And this figure is anticipated to grow as lesser developed digital markets catch up with other regions when it comes to infrastructure development and the availability of cheap mobile devices. In fact, most of social media's global growth is driven by the increasing usage of mobile devices. Mobile first make Eastern Asia top in the globe. I remember, my dear friends, let me tell you, when for the first time, when in the initial years of the mobile phones, I remember, even when we were also using, during that time we were charged for the incoming calls also. Forget about the outgoing calls. We were charged for the incoming calls. That was a different time. Even the mobile phone, a keypad mobile phone, that was costing during that time 5,000, 6,000, 7,000 rupees during that time. It was very expensive. That means if you want to buy a smartphone, buy a keypad mobile phone, you have to buy a mobile phone, you have to buy a SIM, and you're not supposed to only pay the bill. That means that even if for the incoming calls are also charged. That was the time. Forget about the outgoing calls. But now just see how things are changing very fast. Now each and every human being, each and every citizen of the country, they are having a smartphone at their disposal. And they can connect with anyone across the globe. Now it is not, that means, confined to only the urban areas that people are having smartphones. You go to the remote or the rural areas, you will see that even if the rural people, they have been using mobile devices like anything. So the social media usage, according to the Statista report, The social media uses increased just because of the low cost of the mobile device, mobile phones. When people were able to get at a lower price a mobile phone, that means they can talk to each other, they can go for outgoing calls, incoming calls, you can send videos, you can receive videos, you can chat with anyone, whatever, you can use your internet, everything is possible in a smartphone. Then it is quite obvious the social media uses will be increased. Then the third question was, how much time do people spend on social media? See, internet users spend 144 minutes per day on social media and messaging apps. An increase of more than half an hour since 2015. On average, internet users in Latin America had the highest average time. Latin America, which is a less developed country, where you can see that they are using maximum time on internet itself. What are the most popular social media platform? The next question. It was found that Facebook was the most popular social media platform. Just have a look. 1 million registered accounts and currently boast approximately 2.7 billion monthly active users, making it the most popular social networking website worldwide, a social networking network worldwide. So this is what the reality, this is what the figure. Let's have a look. The social media use around the world. Total number of, that means active social media users, 4.2 billion. Social media users as a percentage of the global population, it is 53.6. Then annual change in the number of global social media users, that is a plus 13.2%, that is around plus 490 million people, users. Total number of social media users accessing via mobile phones. See, 4.15 billion people, they are accessing, they are using social media by accessing the mobile phones. Percentage of total social media users accessing via mobile, it is 98.8%. This is the global social media users over time. You see, from in 2016, it was 2.31. And now you see, in 2021, it is 4.20. So the number of global social media users, which is increasing very fast. Just have a look on the evolution of daily time spent using social media. It is from 1 hour 51 minute in 2015 to in 2020 it is 2 hours 25 minutes. So around, that means under the age group of 16 to 64, they are using not less than 2 hours 30 minutes in a day. Then in Jan, these are the latest data. Share of time spent in mobile apps, I have given the references, the valid references of this data. Share of time spent in mobile apps by category. Just have a look. Average time spent using mobile devices each day, 4 hours 10 minutes. The people, they are using their mobile devices very actively, that to be on an average 4 hours 10 minutes. Share of mobile time spent in social and communication apps, 44% people. Share of mobile time spent in video entertainment apps, 26%. See, share of mobile time spent playing games, 9%. Again, share of mobile time spent using other kinds of apps, 21%. So being a PR professional, you have to find out a way, my dear friends, how to reach the new generation, how to catch the masses in the digital world. They are so fast, things are changing so fast. You need to devise some way. This is a record that this is a that means again a report on COVID-19 and types of content people want. How the people that means if you go through the that means just have a look on the slide that during the pandemic most of the people that means 47% of the female they love to see movies, whereas only 50% male they love to see movies in comparison to female. So the male is high. This is what the chat which you can see, and it is self-descriptory. I don't think I need to describe. Just have a look and let me proceed to the next slide. This is again the evolution of daily time spent using the internet. How much time they spent in the previous slide I have shown you, and this data that is from Hootsuite, that in 2015 it is 2.4%, but now in 2020 it was 4.0%. So daily time spent, it is minimum 4 hours. That means 4.5 hours people they spent on social media and internet. Daily time spent with media. You say this is a very year data, that means a very complete information has been given here. Time spent using the internet, all device. 6 hours 54 minutes, my dear friend. 7 hours you are spending on internet. That may be through mobile phones, that may be through anything. On internet you are spending 7 hours, around 7 hours. 6 hours 54 minutes means 7 hours, which is a big time. Time spent watching television, broadcast and streaming, 3 hours 24 minutes. Time spent using social media, 2 hours 25 minutes. Then time spent playing video games and console, 1 hour 12 minutes. These are the data that you can, it is again self-explanatory, so I don't need to explain it again. Just have a look. Then this is the next slide, that is the daily time spent using social media. You look at the top, we have Philippines. That means they have been using from the age group of 16 to 64. They spent using social media on each day. That the highest is the Philippines, and in between, if you see, India is here. India is somewhere. Let me show you. Yes, it is India. That means we are in between. That means we are just below the which company? Russia, Paris. Okay. So this is what the daily time spent using social media. That means the average amount of time in hours and minutes that internet users aged to 16 to 64 again spend using social media each day. Each day they are spending this much of time. Then the global digital growth, just have a look. Yes, now coming to the conclusion. You see, PR practitioners across the globe have started understanding the importance of the digital media, although its adoption in practice is in the nascent stage. Though the PR practitioners, even if today they are learning so many things, and they, in order to survive in this digital era, there is no way out, my dear friends. You have to adapt the technological advancement or the technological changes. There is no other way. I'm sorry to say. Brands will have to address a new set of young audience who belong to the digital and the mobile age. Attention span of this new generation is very less. As I told you, that the young generation is very inquisitive. They are not interested to write, they are not interested to listen, or they are not interested to read your 5,000 words or 1,200 words or 1,500 words. They want content very sharp and to the point. And that is the reason we say that content is the king. That to be crisp and short sentences is the need of the hour. Because whenever the youngsters that means search for anything, they search for keywords. So we should be very careful. So being a PR practitioner, you should devise the way how to write. Then that is the reason in the beginning also I said designing and drafting is now a very challenging thing for the PR practitioner. That too for different platforms. For Facebook, the content would be different. For YouTube, the content would be different. For mail, the content would be different. For radio, for television, for newspaper, for online newspaper, the content will vary from each other. Because you are now having enormous platforms, varied platforms. So that you need to understand. Last but not the least, before I am going to wind up, just have a look on the slide what Bill Gates says. If I was down to my last dollar, I would spend it on public relations. This is what public relations is. This is what the beauty and this is what the power of public relations. So my dear friends, with this, I end this lecture over here. And once again, thank you so much for that means thank you so much who are going to listen me. And I would like to have your feedback as well. I would be more happy because I believe that I'm a learner. I know nothing. I'm learning so many things. So your suggestions will definitely help me to grow more and more in the days to come. So with this, thank you once again PRSI, that is Public Relations Society of India, and Dr. Pathak for giving me this wonderful opportunity. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat. Thank you so much.